guys, welcome to another awesome Mobfox tutorial video. My name is Asaf. I'm a software engineer here at mobfox.com. Last time we did a Gradle installation for SDK so you can start using it. It was really simple and straightforward. Today we're going to complete that tutorial with a jar installation, which we also support. So if anybody of you developers want to download the jar file as a file and put it in your project and include it, it's also available and it's fully documented and really simple to do. So that's what we're going to do today to complete our tutorials on integrating the Mobfox SDK. So let's get started. As you can see behind me, you can see our documentation. You have a link right under me. So just click that link and we get to the documentation, integrate via Android SDK. So here we have under the Gradle installation, which we covered already, we have the jar installation. So click on the jar installation. First of all, we have to download and unzip our jar file. So as you can see, we have a link right here. I'm going to click that link and it takes us to our GitHub page. In our GitHub page, we have two links. One to our 3.6.2 jar version of our SDK core, and we have the latest version of our SDK, which are the same files at the moment. So I'm going to download the 3.6.2 jar file, and I already downloaded to a folder in my desktop. As you can see behind me, I have that folder with the file in there, and I already opened our libs file, our libs folder in my project that I just created. So as you can see behind me, I have the jar file in my desktop, and I have the jar file and I have the libs folder open. So I'm going to drag this file from my desktop folder. I'm going to drag it to my libs folder, as you can see behind me. So after I put it in my libs folder, I'm ready to integrate it in my project. So let's get back to Android Studio. I'm going to close these two folders, and after I put it in my libs folder, let's go back to our documentation. I'm ready to implement it in Android Studio. So let's take a look at the documentation. After I put it in the libs directory as we've done, I have to put these dependencies in my Gradle file. So let's do that. First of all, we're going to add the Maven repository to our main build Gradle file. So let's go back to the Android Studio. And now I'm going to drop this Maven repository right here under all project repositories as the documentation shown. Cool, so I have that. Next, I'm going to put all these dependencies that our Android SDK needs in order to perform. So I'm going to copy all these links, dependencies, and I'm going to go back to my Android Studio, and I'm going to drop it in the app build Gradle. So I'm going to drop it here, and as you can see, I have the files, the implementation of the files that we just created and put in our libs folder. So I have the Mobfox Android SDK 3.6.2 jar. If you downloaded the latest, you'll have to have the latest file over here. That means that you have to put this latest right here. But because I put the 3.6.2 file, that's okay for me. So also make sure you have the file tree implementation here, which includes your lib folder. So you have to have this line here in order for the build Gradle to identify the jar file that you put in your libs. So don't forget to put this line right here. It should be implemented automatically when you build your project. The Android Studio should add it automatically, but if you don't have this line, please add it. So after I handled the build Gradle files, I can add some permission to my manifest file in order to allow our SDK to have all its permission that it needs in order to function. So I'm going to go to my documentation and I'm going to copy paste first of all the permissions I need. I'm going to copy them. Then I'm going to go back to my Android Studio and I'm going to open under the app, I'm going to open the Android manifest XML, and I'm going to paste all these permissions right here. I need some activities in order to make our interstitial activity work. I need to add some activities. So I'm going to open the doc again and I'm going to copy this activities which will allow our interstitial activity to work in order to show interstitials. So after I copy these lines, I'm going to go back to my Android Studio. I'm going to go to my app, and I'm going to paste this activity right under the automatically created activity by our Android app. So after we drop these lines, let's run our application, which has our jar installation inside. And here we go. It loads up. SDK jar. This is our installation. So that's it, guys. This was the jar installation tutorial. As you can see, it's really simple. All you have to do is download the jar file from our documentation, from our GitHub page, drop it in the libs folder, and add a few lines of code, all fully documented. So we'll be happy if you do that. So that's it for now. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking the button subscribe right below me, so you can be keeping update with these kinds of tutorials that we're going to upload. And thank you for listening, and until next time, see you guys later.